Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण everyone. So today is 18th of November. It is Saturday. It's Kartika Masa or Damodara Masa, Shukla Paksha, and Sashti Tithi. So there are no events today. So we shall quickly enter into Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami has been telling all the Pranaka sages about the position of the Parikshit. So now Parikshit, he has completely surrendered and he is remembering only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has surrendered himself as a disciple to the Sukadeva Goswami. And people who has surrendered themselves to the spiritual master and Krishna, it is not possible for them to fall into any misconceptions or illusions at the end of their lives. So they are already properly determined to go to the ultimate destination. Nauttama shloka vartanam dushatam tat katamrutam syat sambhrama antakalepi smaratam tat padambujam. So this syat sambhrama antakalepi, so falling into the illusion at the end of their life, it doesn't happen. So likewise, Sutta Goswami has says, it is a conclusion kind of a verse. After Parikshit, he has completely surrendered himself. Vayasakehe Jahu Sishyo Gangayam Swam Kalevaram. So he has submitted, and Sutta Goswami concludes that one. And further, Sutta Goswami turns his attention towards the Kali Purusha and the age of Kali. And now, so Parikshit, he is at the he has determined to do Prayopavesha, and now he has surrendered himself to the Sukadeva Goswami. Now, Sutta Goswami is talking about the Kali. So the Kali, as long as Parikshit, he was an emperor and ruling this entire world, it was not possible for Kali to enter into the kingdom in the sense, the entire world itself. And then after that, and also Sutta Goswami says that the day whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has left this abode, left this material world to his abode, since that time, this Kali Purusha started expanding his influences. So likewise, Sutta Goswami is saying, so we are in the first canto, chapter 18, verse number 5 and 6. तावत् कलिः न प्रभवेत् प्रविष्टो अपीह सर्वतः यावद् ईशो महान् ऊर्ध्वाम् अभिमन्यव एकरात्. तावत् कलिः न प्रभवेत्. तावत् कलिः न प्रभवेत्. So long the personality of Kali, it cannot flourish. Pravishta apiha sarvatah. So Pravishta iha, even though he has entered into this material world and he could enter anywhere within this material world, but Tavat Kalihi na prabhavet, he could not influence any of these material world people. Tavat Kalihi na prabhavet pravishta api iha sarvataha, because Yavad Ishaha Mahan Vurvam, Yavad Isho Mahan Urvyam, and there is a great personality, Mahat Urvyam, and he is controlling this entire world as an emperor. Who is that? Abhimanyava Ekarat. Abhimanyava Ekarat. He is the only king ruling this entire world. He is so powerful. So that's why, even though Kali Purusha entered into this material world, he could not influence anyone. So in such a way, Parikshit has arranged his kingdom. Tavat Kalihi na prabhavet pravishta apiha sarvataha yavat disho mahanuryam abhimanyava ekara. So translation for this verse is, as long as the great powerful son of Abhimanyu remains the emperor of the world, there is no chance that the personality of Kali will flourish. And purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. As we have already explained, the personality of Kali had entered the jurisdiction of this earth long ago, and he was looking for an opportunity to spread his influence all over the world. But he could not do so satisfactorily due to the presence of Maharaja Parikshit. That is the way of good government. The disturbing elements like the personality of Kali will always try to extend their nefarious activities, but it is the duty of the able state to check them by all means. Although Maharaja Parikshit allotted places for the personality of Kali, at the same time he gave no chance for the citizens to be swayed by the personality of Kali. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this is how Prabhupada is mentioning. So this Kali Purusha, he has entered long ago, as the day whenever Krishna has departed. Tadaha eva apipuddha chetasam abhadrehetu kaliranva vattata. So Tad aha eva, the day whenever the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has left. Eva apripuddha apritibuddha chetasam, and whoever has not developed their Krishna consciousness properly, and they are victims for the abhadrehetu kalihi anvavattata, and all they will be victimized by the inauspicious activities that are influencing by Kali Purusha. So that is yada mukundo bhagavani mam mahim jahvo swatanya sravani satkataha tad aha eva apibuddha chetasam abhadrehetu kaliranvavattata. So that is whenever Yudhishthira was observing all these things before his Mahaprasthana, after the Arjuna has returned back from the Hastinapura, from Dwaraka to the Hastinapura, and then Yudhishthira is carefully observing all these inauspicious activities are going on, and then since that time, tadaha eva apribuddha chetasam abhadrehetu kalihi anvavattata. Since that time, it is being influencing. And then, so further, Suta Goswami is saying that, and Prabhupada also explains the way of good government, it is to check the Kali Purusha by all means. So in such a way, Parikshit was very properly arranged his kingdom. So that is, this is also, we can also observe what is happening, what is entering into our heart, and make sure the super soul and the soul, they are living happily within our heart. That is, Sudharmaya, this is also says by, whenever Yudhishthira was asking Arjuna whether Arjuna went to Dwarakapuri to observe, and also he was asking the well-wishing of the Krishna and Balram, all the Yedu dynasty people. At that time also, he also says, Aste Sudharmayam Sukam Suhrudvrutah Aste. So he says whether Krishna and Balaram and everyone are happy in their kingdom. So here, what is reflection in our heart whenever it reflect to our personally body? So the soul, whether it is peacefully living within this body. So this is our reflection. And Arjuna is the one who is trying to do all his activities through the body. And Dharma is always carefully observing what is right, what is not right. And Vidura is the very higher level. So it's to be done, it should not be done. So that is further higher level. So that is whenever Vidura also came from all his pilgrimages, Yudhishthira asked the similar kind of questions, whether Krishna and everyone, Krishna Devata, everyone are happy or not. And then, so this is what we have to observe. What is happening to the soul within our body? Is it peacefully living? What it is experiencing? And now the grandson of Yudhishthira, Parikshit, he has carefully observing everything and what is causing the disturbances within our body. Of course, I'm telling the reflections, and other side is one story is going on outside. That is historical. So here, whenever Parikshit observes what is disturbing our condition, either mental condition to the heart, the mind, or intelligence, these are disturbing elements. This is intoxication and gambling, illicit association, and the slaughtering, the killing. So these four things, and also the thinking of the accumulation of gold. These are the 5 elements. So here Parikshit is so expert in such a way, he arranged his kingdom so that Kali cannot influence in his kingdom. It is the duty of the able state to check them by all means, although Maharaja Parikshit allotted places for the personality of Kali. At the same time, he gave no chance for the citizens to be swayed by the personality of Kali. So likewise, Sut Goswami is saying, and Prabhupada is explaining very beautifully. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. There is one more verse, but its time is past for 10 minutes. Okay, so this is how Kali Purusha cannot influence as long as Parikshit is carefully observing and ruling the kingdom. Tavat Kalihi na prabhavet pravishtu apiha sarvataha yavadisho mahanuriyam abhimanyava ekara. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we shall quickly enter into Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is a letter to Satswarupa, November 3rd, 1969, London. Can I request any dear devotees to read this letter? Small letter.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read it? Please.
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Swarupa, please accept my blessings. I thank you for your letter dated November the 18th, 1969, and have noted all the points carefully. I can understand that the composing program is not going as planned. Therefore, I think Palika Dasi may immediately be trained to help with this task. For layout work, I have already asked Aravinda to come to Boston to do that work. So these 2 devotees will be posted in Boston for the time being to centralize the activities. Then we shall see how to pick up further men. For editing the Sanskrit words, you can send me a list of the words, and I shall send you the correct diacritic marks. You write that you shall send me your changes for the Krishna manuscript pages here with me, and upon receipt of them, I shall do the needful. Please also send carbon copies of the tapes you have edited in the past few months. By separate post, a new tape is being sent to you. Please offer my blessings to the others. I hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, here?
Any takeaway points for me? This letter demonstrates that how Srila Prabhupada has, Srila Prabhupada had the exquisite quality to manage everything, ranging from the books, ranging from compiling the books to even any composing or building work in the building, and how he has beautifully delegated the works based on the devotees' capabilities among everyone. So engaging everyone in the loving service of the Lord. So what we learn from this letter is all of us are endowed with some kinds of quality. We sometimes don't know what quality we have, but we have some sort of quality that Krishna has blessed us, that Krishna has given us. So we can employ whatever we have in Krishna's service. So some of us are good at talking about Krishna, so Krishna has given them the quality to talk about him. Some of us are good at making prasadam. Some of us are good at book distribution. Some of us are good at many other services. Some of us are good at kirtanas or chanting the glories of the Lord. So whatever qualities that we have received from Krishna, because whatever ability we have, it all came from Krishna. It has emanated from Krishna. So whatever qualities we have, we can employ in Krishna's service, and that's how we can make the best use of our qualities. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So nicely summarized. Thank you, Mataji. Any other comments, dear devotees? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So, and also here Prabhupada is also diacritics. They are very, very important, stressing these words. That is the set of all this grammar, so that all these Vedas and the sound they are all preserved in the sound vibrations, so that the meaning cannot be changed at any point of time. Okay, so that is all the wealth of all the Vedas and Krishna's. This knowledge belongs to Krishna. Okay, so that's from Srila Prabhupada's letter. Okay, so and from the announcements point of view, so we are going to do next Bhagavatam recitations of the 17th chapter. And after that, today afternoon we have got Krishna's Club, Children's Krishna's Club, and today evening we have got Bhagavad Gita, regular Sangha, but it is the house program today, but we are going to broadcast through Zoom as well. And the devotees, so kindly let Devashish Prabhuji and Mampi Mataji know about your presence, so that it will be good for the preparations, prasadam preparations. Okay, that is from announcement side from me. And the devotees, if you have got any other updates, please share. Otherwise, we shall enter into the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, 17th chapter. Okay. And we shall move to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Chapter 9. Okay, so today we are going to start with Gaurangi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
So if you are ready, so I'm sharing this. So if you need any help for the translation, kindly let me know.
Okay. I will try Prabhuji. First, once time, yeah, Prabhuji, or 3 times. Sanskrit. Once time, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please start, Mataji. Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. Dandavat Pranam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय श्रीशुकवाच आत्मा माया मृतेराजन् परस्यानुभवात्मनः न घटितार्थसम्बन्धः स्वप्नदृष्टुरिवाञ्जसा
Hare Krishna. Sorry, Mataji.
Translation.
Apologies, Mataji. So it is, I have shared a different one. It is first canto, chapter 17. Apologies.
Okay. Hare Krishna Sutta Uvacha Tatra Gomithunam Raja Hanyamana Dandahastam Cha Brisalam Dadrisendripalanchanam. Translation. Suta Goswami said, after reaching that place, Maharaja Pariksit observed that a lowercase Sudra dressed like a king was beating a cow and a bull with a club as if they had no answer. Text 2. वृषमृणालाधाबलं मेहन्तमिव बिभ्यतं वेपमानं पदैकेन सीदन्तं शुद्धताडितं. Translation. The bull was as white as a white lotus flower. He was terrified of the Sudra who was beating him, and he was so afraid that he was standing on one leg, trembling and urinating. Text 3. Ganja dharma dudham dinam vrisam sudra padahatam bibatsama suvadanam chemam yavasamichetatim. Translation. Although the cow is beneficial because one can draw religious principle from her, she was now rendered poor and confused. Her legs were being beaten by a Sudra. There were tears in her eyes, and she was distressed and weak. She was hankering after some grass in the field. Text 4. प्रपच्छारथमारूढाः कर्तशूरपरिच्छदं मेघगम्भीरया वाचा समरूपितकार्मुकः. Translation. Maharaja Parikshit, well equipped with arrows and bow and seated on a gold embossed um, chariot, spoke to him, the Sudra, with a deep voice sounding like thunder. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Next, can I request Rasila Shrimati Mataji to recite? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances on glorious Krishna Prabhupada. Text 5. Kastvam machirne loke baladham dhamsi abalan bale nardevo asi visheshena natavat karmana dvija. Oh, translation. Oh, who are you? You appear to be strong, and yet you dare kill, within my protection, those who are helpless. By your dress, you pose yourself to be a godly man king, but by your deeds, you are opposing to the principles of the twice-born Kshatriyas. Text 6. Yastvam Krishne gate duram saha gandiva dhanvana shocho asya asocyan rahasi praharan vadham arahasi. Translation: You rogue, do you dare beat an innocent cow because Lord Krishna and Arjuna, the carrier of the Gandiva bow, are out of sight? Since you are beating the innocent in a secluded place, you are considered a culprit and therefore deserve to be killed. Tvamva mrinal dhvala pader nyuna padacharan vrishrupena kim kashchir devo na parikhedayan. Translation: Then he, Maharaj Parikshit, asked the bull, "Oh, who are you? Are you a bull as white as a white lotus, or are you a demigod? You have lost three of your legs, and are moving on only one. Are you some demigod causing us grief in the form of a bull? Na jatu Korvendryanam Dordanda Parirambite Bhutale Anupatanti Yasmin Vinate Praninam Shucha. Now, translation: Now, for the first time in a kingdom well protected by the arms of the kings of the Kuru dynasty, I see you grieving with tears in your eyes. Up till now, no one on earth has ever shed tears because of royal negligence. Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, would you like to continue for next verses? Malati Mataji is not available now.
Okay, Professor, thank you. I will do that. Ma, text 9. Ma Solbhetra Shucho Vetu Te Vishaladbhyam Marodir Amba Bhadram Te Khalanamai Shastri. Translation: O son of Surabhi, you need lament no longer now. There is no need to fear this low-class Shudra. And O mother cow, as long as I am living as a ruler and subduer of all envious men, there is no cause for you to cry. Everything will be good for you. Text 10 and 11. Yasya Rashtre Praja Sarvas Tasyante Sadvi Asadubhi Tasyam Tasya Nashyanti Kirtir Ayu Bhagogati Esha Ragnam Paro Dharmo He Artanam Arti Nigraha Ata Enam Vadhishyami Bhutadruham Asattamam. Translation: O chaste one, the king's good name, duration of life, and good rebirth vanish when all kinds of living beings are terrified by miscreants in his kingdom. It is certainly the prime duty of the king to subdue first the sufferings of those who suffer. Therefore, I must kill this most wretched man because he is violent against other living beings. को विशत तब पद्मं स्तेन सौरभ्या चतुष्पदा मा भुवांस त्वदृशाराष्ट्रे राज्ञं कृष्ण अनुवर्तिनाम्. In translation, he, Maharaja Parikshit, repeatedly addressed and questioned the bull thus: O son of Surabhi, who has cut off your three legs? In the state of the kings who are obedient to the laws of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, there is no one as unhappy as you. Hare Krishna. Shall I continue, Prabhuji, or is it okay?
Thank you so much, Mataji. So
Thank you
next,
so much, Prabhuji.
It is
Thank
so
you.
beautifully recited. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so next, can I request Meenakshi Mataji for Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Akhyahi vrisabhadram bhav sadhuna कृतगासमम् आत्मविरूप्य कर्तारं पार्थानां कीर्तिदूषणम्. O bull, you are offenses and thoroughly honest. Therefore, I wish all good to you. Please tell me of the perpetrator of these mutilations which blanken the reputation of the sons of Prutha. Janinagan samdam yujanya sarvotosya च प्रदायं साधूनां भद्रमेवं मेव स्यात् साधुस्तदमने कृते. Whoever causes offenses, living being, to suffer must fear me anywhere and everywhere in the world by curbing dishonest miscreants. One automatically benefit the offenseless. अनागस्विह भूतेषु यजागाकृकृश अहतास्मि भुजं साक्षाम् आत्मश्यामि सह An upset living being who commit offense by torturing those who are offenseless shall be directly uprooted by me, even though he be a damaged of heaven with armor and decorations. रागनो हि परमो धर्म स्वधर्मस्थानुपालनम् शास्त्रस्तो ज्ञान यथा शास्त्रम् अनाप्रद्युपथ The supreme duty of the ruling king is to give all protection to law abiding persons and chastise those who stray from the ordinaries of the scriptures in ordinary times, where there is no emergency. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Sir, very nicely recited. May I request next Usha Mataji?
Hare Krishna. धर्मवाच एतद्व पाण्डवीयानां युक्तं वार्ताभयं वचः येषां गुणगुणैः कृष्ण दैत्यादो भगवान् कृतः. The personality of religion said, the word just spoken by you befit a person of the Pandav dynasty. Captivated by the devotional qualities of the Pandavas, even Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, performed duties as a messenger. न वयं कलेशबीजानि यतः स्युः पुरुषासवः पुरुषं तं विजानीमो वाक्यभेदं विमोहितः. O greatest among human beings, it is very difficult to ascertain the particular miscreant who has caused our suffering, because we are believed by all the different opinions of theoretical philosophers. केचिद् विकल्पवसना आहुरात्मन् आत्मनः देवमन्ये परे कर्म स्वभावं परिप्राप्नु. Some of the philosophers who deny all sorts of duality declare that one's own self is responsible for his personal happiness and distress. Others say that superhuman powers are responsible, while yet others say that activity is responsible. And the gross materialists maintain that nature is the ultimate cause. अप्रत्यादानिर्देश्यात् इति केशवसि निश्चय अत्रानुरूपं राजर्षे विमृश स्वमनीषया. There are also some thinkers who believe that no one can ascertain the cause of distress by arguments, nor know it by imaginations, nor express it by work. O sage, amongst kings, judge for yourself by thinking over all this with your own intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Would you like to continue? And Sajjana Kanya Mataji is not available.
Okay, Prabhupada. Sutta uvacha evam dharme pravardate sa samranga dvijasatamaha samahitena manasha vikedah paryachashtatam. Sutta Goswami said, O best among the Brahmanas, the emperors Pariksit, thus hearing the personality of religion speak, was fully satisfied and without mistake or regret, he gave his reply. Raja Uvacha Dharmam Ravisi Dharmagya Dharmo Seva Padruka Yad Dharma Vitaha Sthanam Suchakshyasi Tadvadvetaha. The king said, O you who are in the form of a bull, you know the truth of religion, and you are speaking according to the principle that the destination intent for the preparator or irreligious act in also intent for one who identifies the preparator. You are no other than personality of religion. अथवा देवमायया नूनं गतिरगोचरा चेतसो वचश्चापि भूतानाम् इति निश्चयः. Thus it is concluded that the Lord's energies are inconceivable. No one can estimate them by mental speculation or by word jugglery. Tapah saucham daya satyam iti padaha krute kritaha adharma sestrayo bhagnaha smaya sangam madevata. In the age of Satya, truthfulness, your 4 legs were established by the 4 principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. But it appeared that 3 of your legs are broken due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust for women, and intoxication.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully cited. Okay, can I request next, Saranya Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. इदानीं धर्मपादस्थे सत्यं निर्वर्तयेत् यदः तं जिकृत्साक्षी अधर्मोऽयम् अनृतेनायतिदाकालिः. You are now standing on one leg only, which is your truthfulness, and you are somehow or other hobbling along. But quarrel personified, Kali, flourishing by deceit, is also trying to destroy that leg. Iyam cha bhumir bhagavada न्याशितो भराशदि श्रीमद्भिस्तत्पादन्यासैः सर्वदा कृतकौतुकः. The burden of the earth was certainly diminished by the personality of Godhead and by others as well. When he was present as an incarnation, all good was performed because of his auspicious footprints. Sochadi ashrukala sadvi दुर्भाग्येवो जिहिदास्वति अब्राह्मण्यानृभाव्याज शूद्रभोक्ष्यादिमाम् इति. Now she, the chaste one, being unfortunately forsaken by the personality of Godhead, laments her future with tears in her eyes. For now she is being ruled and enjoyed by lower class men who pose as rulers. Iti dharma mahim chaiva सात्वायित्वा महारथः निशातम् अददेकात्कं Kalaye Dhadharma Hedave. Maharaja Parikshit, who could fight 1,000 enemies single-handedly, thus pacified the personality of religion and the earth. Then he took up his sharp sword to kill the personality of Kali, who is the cause of all religion.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Can I request Sanchita Mataji now?
Hare Krishna Prabhu and Dandavat Pranam dear devotees. Tam jigamsum abhipretya vihaya nripa lanchanam tat padamulam sirasa samagada bhaya bivalaha. When the personality of Kali understood that the king was willing to kill him, he at once abandoned the dress of a king and under pressure of fear completely surrendered to him, bowing his head. Patitam padayor viraha kripaya deenavatsala saranyo navadhicho lokya aha chedam hasanniva. Maharaj Parikshit, who was qualified to accept surrender and worthy of being sung in history, did not kill the poor surrendered and fallen Kali, but smiled compassionately, for he was the kind to the poor. Rajovacha nate gura kesa yashodharanam baddhanjalir bhayam asti kinchit na vartitvam bhavata kathanchana kshetre madhye tvam adharma bandhu. The king thus said, "We have inherited the fame of Arjuna. Therefore, since you have surrendered yourself with folded hands, you need not fear for your life. But you cannot remain in my kingdom, for you are the friend of irreligion. Tvam vartamanam narade iva dehasva anupravrityo yam adharma pugaha lobho anityam chauryam anaryam amho jeshta cha maya kalahascha dambha." If the personality of Kali, religion, is allowed to act as a man-god or an executive head, certainly irreligious activities like greed, falsehood, robbery, incivility, treachery, misfortune, cheating, quarrel, and vanity will abound. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Can I request Mampi Mataji to try, if possible, if available? These verses are not allocated yet to anyone. Okay, Sanchita Mataji, would you like to go ahead with further?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Oh,
I
Hare Krishna
I
Mataji.
can try also.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam to all devotees. Hare Krishna. Naburtitavang todo dharma bandham dharmena sattena cha burtitavve brahmavarte jatra jajanti yagge yaggesharam yaggavitano vigya. Therefore, O friend of irreligion, you do not deserve to remain in a place where experts perform sacrifices according to truth and religious principles for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. 34. Jasmin Hari Bhagavano Ijaman Ijato Murtirjotang Sang Tanoti Kamano Moghano Sthiro Jagamana Mantarbo Bohirbayu Birod Bayuri Boisho Atma. In all sacrificial ceremonies, although sometimes a demigod is worshipped, the Supreme Lord, personality of Godhead, is worshipped because he is the super soul of everyone and exists both inside and outside like the air. Thus, thus it is he only who awards all welfare to the worshipper. Suto upacha parikshita evam adrishyam Kulijata Vipothu Tamudda Tamo Uddato Oshimaha Idam Dandopani Ibo Uddatam. Sri Sutta Goswami said, the personality of Kali, thus being ordered by Maharaj Parikshit, began to tremble in fear, seeing the king before him like Yamaraja, ready to kill him. Kali spoke to the king as follows. 36. Koliro vacho jatra khoba Vatsami Sarvabhauma Tabagaya Lakshaye Tatra Tatrapi Tamateshu Sarasanam. O your majesty, though I may live anywhere and everywhere under your order, I shall but see you with bow and arrows wherever I look. That will I continue, Prabhuji, or I'll stop?
The devotee Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited.
Thank you, Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Can I request Radha Sevaka Mataji?
Done. Hare Krishna, everyone. Pranam. Tanme dharma vitam shrestha stanam nirdeshtam arhati yatreva niyato vatya adishtam se anushasanam. Therefore, O chief among the protectors of religion, please pick some place for me where I can live permanently under the protection of your government. Suta uvacha abhayarthitastada tasme danani kalaye dado dayutam panam priyastu na yatra dharmaschaturvidaha. Sutta Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, thus being petitioned by the personality of Kali, gave him permission to reside in places where gambling, drinking, prostitution, and animal slaughter were performed. Punaschaya jamana ananya jatarupam adat prabhu tato anritam madam kamam rajo vedyam japanchamam. The personality of Kali asked for something more, and because of his begging, the king gave him permission to live where there is gold, because wherever there is gold, there is also falsity, intoxication, lust, envy, and enmity. Amuni panchastahanani hi adharma prabhavaha kalihi Ottarayena datani Nayavasatat Nideshakrit. Thus, the personality of Kali, by the direction of Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Uttara, was allowed to live in those 5 places.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. And also, the last 5 verses, Usha Mataji is different. Another Usha Mataji has not joined. If any devotees have not taken a turn yet, if you would like to try these last 5 verses. Otherwise, Radha Sevika Mataji, would you like to continue?
Athaitanina sevata Bhubusaha Purusaha Kavachit Visheshtato Dharmashilo Rajalokapati Guruhu. Therefore, whoever desires progressive well-being, especially kings, religionists, public leaders, brahmanas, and sannyasis, should never come in contact with the 4 above mentioned irreligious principles. Vrishashya nashtam trinpadam tapaha socham danamiti pratishandatah Aishvasya mahim cha samavardhayat. Thereafter, the king re-established the lost legs of the personality of religion, the bull, by encouraging activity he sufficiently improved the condition of the earth. Saesha atarhi arthayasta asanam parthivochitam pitamane panyastam rajnaranyam vivikshataha aste adhuna sarajasi Goravendra Shri Lolasam Sant Gajavaye Mahabhagat Chakravarti Brihadravaha. The most fortunate emperor, Maharaj Parikshit, who was entrusted with the kingdom of Hastinapur by Maharaj Yudhishthira when he desired to retire to the forest, is now ruling the world with great success due to his being glorified by the deeds of the kings of the Kuru dynasty. Itham bhutano bhavo ayam abhimanyu suto nipvaha Yasya palayataha ko nim yuyam tatreya diksitiha. Maharaj Parikshit, the son of Abhimanyu, is so experienced that by dint of his expert administration and patronage, it has been possible for you to perform a sacrifice such as this.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautifully recited. Thank you, all the devotees. Very nicely recited. So with this, 17th chapter is completed. First canto, 17th chapter. Okay, so if you're all happy, then we shall move on to the next part of our program. And also in this Kartika month, it is also mentions that one of the activities is to read and meditate on Gajendra Moksha as well. I don't know if you're all happy. Maybe we could allocate that time now, or we can enter into the second canto, 9th chapter, with Lord's reciprocation to the Brahma's meditation. So just a thought, but I don't want to take immediate thing. But if all devotees only say, then we will enter into. So this Gajendra Moksha prayers. It is in the 8th canto, chapter 3. It is just only offering obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Gajendra, he offers his obeisances without mentioning the name, just mentioning who is beyond everything relating to. Then none of the demigods appear, only the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He comes on the Garuda and rescues Gajendra. I just would like to know your thoughts on it. So we have got only one more week. Okay, anyway, we shall do it on the next Saturday in that case. Otherwise, it is very short notice now. So it is just not the Sanskrit. At least we are going to meditate on only the English translations. Okay.
So, Prabhu, you say we're going to do the Gajendra Moksha. We're going to recite.
Mataji?
So, did you say we're going to recite the Gajendra Moksha?
Yes, Mataji. Just English translations.
Which chapter is it, Prabhuji? Oh my God.
It is 8th canto, chapter 3. It is a very beautiful part
Yeah,
of
yeah, yes. Okay, thank you.
So it is also mentioned one of the Kartika Masa austerities to meditate on the Gajendra Moksha prayers. So these are the prayers. So here, without mentioning the name of the god, either it is Brahma or Shiva or Hari, so he offers his prayers so beautifully. Of course, everyone knows this pastime, but those prayers are very, very beautiful. Okay, we shall meditate on this one on coming Saturday. That would be as part of Kartika month austerity. Okay, so we shall enter into our Srimad Bhagavatam, our regular this chapter, second canto, and the chapter 9. Just going into that one. Somewhere, okay. So we are in the second canto, chapter 9, verse 22. So it is very beautiful verses that Lord is speaking to Brahma. So here, so Lord has appeared in front of the Brahma, and then he is speaking. First, he appreciated Brahma, and he also has given handshakes. And Brahma has seen all the Vaikuntha opulences, and Brahma is very happy. And then he offered his obeisances, and Lord, he has priyam pritamana kares prushan. Tam प्रियमानं समुपस्थितं कविं प्रजाविसर्गे निशासनार्हणं भवाशेषत् स्मितशोचिसाघिर priyam pritamana kare sprushan, by touching with his hands, and he is speaking to Brahma. And what is Lord is speaking? Tvayaham toshtaha samyag vedagarbhasistrukshaya chiramrutena tapasa dustosha kota yoginam. So Brahma, I am very pleased with your tapasya you have done for a very long time. Chiramrutena tapasa, but I am not pleased with the people who are doing just pretending that they are the yogis. Dustosha kota yoginam, kota yogis. I am not pleased with such kind of yogis. So now वरं वर्य भद्रन्ते वरेशमा अभिवाञ्छितं ब्रह्मन् श्रेयः परिश्रामः पुंसं मद्दर्शनावतिः. No, Brahma, ask me all kinds of benedictions, whatever you want. Ask me all benedictions, but you know that what is the best thing? Brahman Shreya Parishramah Pumsam Maddarshana Avadihi. So for the people, it is just seeing me and coming to my abode, that is the best thing. But you can ask me anything. So he says, also gives the indication, clues also, what is the best thing. So now further Lord is speaking why he has said such kind of words. So that is, we are going to discuss that one in the second canto, chapter 9, verse number 22. मनीषित अनुभवोऽयं मम लोक अवलोकनं यद्वुपसृत्य रहसि जगद्ध परमं तपः. मनीषित अनुभवोऽयं मम लोक अवलोकनं. So what is it is? The highest perfectional in unity is the personal perception of my abode. So many times we hear that, okay, this is very beautiful, something like that. But unless we go directly see it and touch it, and that is, then only we feel, yes, this is it. Some people says, so that place is very nice. We just only have heard it. But here Lord is saying, Manishita Anubhavoyam, by the experience only. Manishita Anubhavoyam, Mamaloka Avalokanam. My planet, whoever is experiencing in the Avalokanam, seeing by actual experience. It is not only just by thinking through the mind, just by if someone says the words, not by thinking. But here he is saying by seeing actual experience, by touching it, and then whatever we feel, it is the practical experience. The Lord is saying, Manishita Anubhavoyam Mamaloka Avalokanam. If someone says if the sweet is if this object, eatable item is so sweet, we do not know that until we taste it. So here likewise Lord is saying about it, about the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever he is saying, Pumsam Maddarshanavadihi, it is the ultimate destination that one has to come and see and experience it. Manishita Anubhavoyam Mamaloka Avalokanam. Yad upasrutya rahasi chakadha paramam tapaha. And O Brahma, yad upasrutya rahasi, and you have heard my words about the great penances to perform. Yad upasrutya, you have heard my words, tapas tapa tapa. These are the two letters you have heard, and you have engaged yourself in the penances. Yad upasrutya rahasi chakadha paramam tapaha, you have been performed this tapasya, the highest penance, which is the Rahasi, and it is also secret. Rahasi is the secret. And you have performed that great tapasya now. And you have sitting at only one place, you have meditated. So likewise, Lord is saying, Manishita Anubhavoye Mama Lok Avalokanam Yad Gupurcha Rahasi Chakadha Paramam Tapaham. So translation for this verse. The highest perfectional in unity is the personal perception of my abode. And this has been possible because of your submissive attitude in the performance of severe penance according to my order. And purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request any dear devotees to read this purport?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I can read it.
Yes, Mataji,
Thank
please.
you. The highest perfectional stage of life is to know the Lord by actual perception, by the grace of the Lord. This can be attained by everyone who is willing to discharge the act of devotional service to the Lord as enjoined in the revealed scriptures that are standard and accepted by the bona fide acharyas, spiritual masters. For example, the Bhagavad Gita is approved Vedic literature accepted by all the great acharyas such as Sankara, Ramanuja, Madhava, Chaitanya, Vishwanatha, Baladeva, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many others. In that Bhagavad Gita, the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, asks that one always be mindful of him, always be his devotee, always worship him only, and always bow down before the Lord. And by doing so, one is sure to go back home, back to Godhead, without any doubt. In other places also, the same order is there, that one give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto the Lord without hesitation. And the Lord will give such a devotee all protection. These are the secrets of attaining the highest perfectional stage. Lord Brahma exactly followed these principles without any superiority complex, and thus he attained the highest perfectional stage of experiencing the abode of the Lord and the Lord himself with all his paraphernalia. Impersonal realization of the effulgence of the Lord's body is not the highest perfectional stage, nor is the stage of Paramatma realization. The word Manisita is significant. Everyone is falsely or factually proud of his so-called learning. But the Lord says that the highest perfectional stage of learning is to know him and his abode, devoid of all illusion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So beautiful purport. So here, if we just experience in our life, we have been in India somewhere in our home, and our desire is to come to UK. Previously, we have heard it, but what we did, we have gone to the school and put steps and then apply for visa and then so much of hard work. And finally, when we have come, yes, this country is so cool and people are just some are white bodied and they're going and engaging. So that is the practical experience. Now here, all this tapasya, chanting and following the regulative principles, completely free from the material attachment. Then Lord is saying, Manishita anubhavoyam mamaloka avalokanam. And this knowledge is to be learned from the bona fide acharyas who are completely free from this material attachment. So these people are sarva sangha vibhajitaha. So that's why one has to sanghateshu atate prajyaha. One has to get this association. Then sangha dosha harahite. Then he will be free from all these material things. Then he will be eligible to enter into the abode of the Lord. Okay, so here this one, this is actual perception by the grace of the Lord. That is the perfectional stage of life. So this can be attained by everyone who is willing to discharge the act of devotional service to the Lord, as enjoined in the revealed scriptures. And one has to learn from there's a standard accepted by the bona fide acharya, spiritual masters. For example, Bhagavad Gita is approved Vedic literature. So this is accepted by all the acharyas. Shankara, Ramanuja, Madhva, Chaitanya, Vishwanatha, Baladeva, Siddhanta Saraswati, and many others. So this is the why we take Bhagavad Gita. It is a practical thing. So we read it and then we experience it, and practically we observe what is happening in and around us. That is the knowledge. Tesham yevanukampardham aham ajnanajam tamaha nasayam atmabhavastu jnanarupena bhasvata. That is the knowledge. That is Bhagavatam. Yatadjnanam Bhagavatam Bhagavad Gita jnanam yattat sangrama murdhani. This is when a person, when he enters and fight with this material world for the sustenance, for the livelihood, then he doesn't understand anything, what is going on. If he is an intelligent person, then he has to approach the spiritual master. Then he would give all these explanations from the scriptures, bona fide scriptures. So here, in that Bhagavad Gita, the personality of God, Shri Krishna asks that one always be mindful of him, always be his devotees, always worship him only, and always bow down before the Lord. So this is also just following the countries, the citizens have to follow the rules of the country. Then only they will be allowed to stay in that country. Otherwise, they will be sent out of the country. If we wanted to enter into the abode of the Lord, we have to adjust ourselves according to the Lord's principles. And by doing so, one is sure to go back home, back to Godhead, without any doubt. So that is fully surrender unto the Lord without hesitation. And the Lord will give such devotee all protection. These are the secrets of attaining the highest perfectional stage. And even though Brahma, he has done meditation for so long, without any superiority complex, he has surrendered himself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he is experiencing that abode of the Lord and the Lord himself. He has seen the Vaikuntha directly sitting at one place. Likewise, Arjuna was sitting in the chariot, and he was able to see Pasyami devan tava deva dehe sarvan tata bhota vishesha sanghan brahmanamisham kamalasanastam rushimsha sarvan vuragamsha divyan. Arjuna was able to sitting on the chariot, could see everything in Krishna's body. So here Brahma is sitting on the lotus flower. He was seeing Brahma, and Brahma is sitting here in the lotus flower. He is seeing Vaikuntha planet, everything. So everything is connected. So once we reflect everything. Okay, so here Brahma has seen it, and now Lord has touched Brahma now. Priyatamana Kares Prushan, just like a lover touches the beloved. Likewise, the Lord is touching Brahma, and the Lord is speaking. And here Prabhupada is explaining very beautifully here. An impersonal realization of the effulgence of the Lord's body is not the highest perfectional stage, nor is the stage of Paramatma realization. So here Lord is in front of Brahma and touching him and speaking to him. So there is no imagination. There is nothing like, oh, I would be doing in the future. It is not partial here, direct perception. This is Krishna says, Pratyakshavagamam dharmyam susukam kartum avyayam. That is the devotional service. So there is a Supreme Personality of Godhead and devotee. There is an exchange of love and reciprocation. The word Manishita is significant. Everyone is falsely or factually proud of his so-called learning, but the Lord says that the highest perfectional stage of learning is to know him and his abode, devoid of all illusion. So this is the very beautiful thing, a highest perfectional stage. So that's why here Lord is saying that Pumsam Maddarshanavadihi, that is the highest thing, O Brahma, but you can ask me anything. And here he is saying, Manishta Anubhoyam Mamalok Avalokanam Yadvupurvicharahasi Chakadha Paramam Tapaha. So beautifully says. Okay, so that is the Prabhupada's purport. So any questions here, dear devotees, before going into the next verse? Any comments? Okay, so if there are no questions, there are no comments, so we shall go into the next verse. So in this next verse, the Lord is saying that, oh Brahma, I have given those instructions to you to perform tapasya. So that kind of tapasya is just, it is very near to my heart. And also, there is no difference between me and the tapasya. So likewise, Lord is saying, so 23 verse, Tachadishtam maya tatra tvayi karma vimohite tapo me hrudayam sakshad atmaham tapaso anagha. Pratyadishtam maya tatra. So pratyadishtam maya, so it is, I have ordered you. So he says that whatever the instruction you have received, pratyadishtam maya, it is by me itself. Tatra tvayi karma vimohite. So when Brahma, as soon as he was in the lotus flower, he looked in the four directions, and then he could not find anyone who has spoken also, and then he tried to find the root of the lotus flower, and he entered into it, but he could not find. By the time he has got the time, that is the end of his life. So that was said in the Garbhoda in another canto, when he was trying to find the root of the And then he returned back to the same place. And then at the time he has heard Ta and Pa. So Lord is saying, Brahma was not succeeded to find the root of the lotus flower. So he was karma vimohite. He was bewildered. At the time the Lord has spoken. What is the tapasya? Pratyadishta maya tatra tvayi karma vimohite tapo me hrudayam sakshad atmaham tapaso anagha. So this tapo me hrudayam sakshad, this is directly my life and soul. This tapasya, tapo me, this penance is hrudayam. Hrudayam is the heart, and directly life and soul. Tapo me hrudayam sakshad. This tapasya is directly my heart and soul, my life and soul. Sakshad, this is the sakshad, and he also says directly. Atmaham tapaso anagha, and it is myself. And tapaso anagha, of one who is engaged in the penance, and anaga is the sinless one. So Brahma, unless he is sinless one, he cannot perform the penances. Tesham svantagata papam jananam punyakarmanam tedbhandva moha nirmukta. So, and then bhajante mam dhruvrataha. Unless they are completely free from all the sinful activities, they cannot come to Krishna. That is one thing. So here, that's why he is saying, tapaso anagha, O sinless Brahma, know that this all is penances is directly, there is no difference between me and the penance. Likewise, the Lord is saying to Brahma, to appreciate Brahma. Pratyadishta maya tatra tvayi karma vimohite tapo me hrudayam sakshat atmaham tapaso anagha. So translation for this verse, O sinless Brahma, you may know from me that it was I who first ordered you to undergo penance when you were perplexed in your duty. Such penance is my heart and soul, and therefore penance and I are non-different. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So there are 3 paragraphs. Can I request the devotees? First paragraph, one devotee.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I read it?
Yes, Mataji, please.
And the penance by which one can see the personality of Godhead face to face is to be understood as devotional service to the Lord and nothing else, because only by discharging devotional service is transcendental love can approach the Lord. Such penances is the internal potency of the Lord and is non-different from Him. Such acts of internal potency are exhibited by non-attachment for material enjoyment. The living entities are engaged in the conditions of material bondage because of their propensity for overlordship. But by engagement in the devotional service of the Lord, one becomes detached from his enjoying spirit. The devotee automatically becomes detached from worldly enjoyment, and this detachment is the result of perfect knowledge. Therefore, the penances of devotional service indulge knowledge and detachment, and that is the manifestation of the transcendental potency. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here, the penance by which one can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face is to be understood as the devotional service to the Lord and nothing else, because only by discharging devotional service. So this is once again coming, explaining again and again. So we can see how much important it is. In transcendental love, one can approach the Lord. Such penance is the internal potency of the Lord and is non-different from Him. So this is when we are doing, it is very difficult to understand when we are in the material body. It is dhrivibhavyam parabhavya swarupena avatistate. That is very difficult, but when he understands the Supreme, which is Swarupena avatistate. Before he leaves his body, tam saprapancham adhiroda samadhi yoga. Samadhi yoga is Vaikuntha Leela Abhidhanam Samadhanam Tadatmanah. That is Samadhanam. Tam saprapancham adhiroda samadhi yoga. Completely, we are in the Atmanamatra Purusho Avyavadhanam Ekam. We are in equal in quality with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, continuously without any gaps, without any breaks. Either we are engaging in the material duties or whatever it is, we are in the temple, we are outside the temple, or in the office, or inside the home with the friends. All the time we are in the unity with the Lord. That is unity in the sense Gunasthiti. Atmanamatra Purusho Avyavadhanamekam. Anvikshite Pratinivritta Gunapravaha. It is, this material world doesn't affect on that kind of body or the person who is engaged in the penances. So yesterday I was seeing one of the in the groups, devotional groups, one person has sent a sadhu before Kumbh Mela. There is a fire sacrifice happening. In that fire sacrifice, he chanted some mantras and then he entered into the fire. He was lying in the fire. In front of the BBC channel was taking the video. He is not like Sita Maharani. She was tested by Lord Ramachandra during the Treta Yuga. Similar kind of thing. This yogi, he was entering into the fire and just lying in the fire, but fire is going very hot, the blazing fire. He was not even burnt a little bit. And then he says, I am in unity with the Agni Deva. That's why Agni doesn't harm me. He says by his words to the BBC interviewer. So here, that is Agni. He is one of the Siddhi. Here we are talking about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond this material universe, who is the controller of all this cosmic manifestation. By this engagement, when we are in unity with the Supreme Personality of God in a quality, how that quality comes? Etad isha nimishasya prakustopi tad gunaihi najjite sadatmastaihi yada buddhihi tadashraya. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is beyond this material nature. When a living entity is doing this devotional service, he would attain also the same position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But the relationship is a devotee and the Supreme Personality. The relationship is always existed. But in the quality, so that a living entity would achieve. So this is, the living entities are encased in the conditions of the material bondage because of their propensity for overlordship. So that is the conditioning. But by the engagement in the devotional service of the Lord, one becomes detached from this enjoying spirit. This is also, this says that bhukta bhukta parityagaha. One has to completely renounce it from this enjoying spirit, completely surrender here, and then follow the instructions from the Guru. Bhadamiti anumanyeta gauravena gururvachaha. Just saying, when we are standing in front of the exalted devotee, we just simply hear, as soon as they say something, yes sir, we do it, and then execute that activity. So that is the devotional service. And a kind of a Gopi Bhattru Padakamalayo Dasa Dasanu Dasa. Likewise, we have to serve the Vaishnavas and Gurus, Acharyas, other Vaishnavas as a simple servant without any enjoying spirit. Our enjoyment is this is kamam cha dasyam na kama. This one, it is Ambarish Maharaj says, all my desires are only to serve the Vaishnavas. It is very beautifully says here. So that is the detached from this enjoying spirit. We can enjoy as a servant. We can take the pleasure in the servitude mode, but not as a lord. The devotees automatically become detached from the worldly enjoyment, and this detachment is the result of perfect knowledge. What is detachment? Is the perfect result of a perfect knowledge. Therefore, penance of devotional service includes knowledge and detachment, and that is the manifestation of the transcendental potency. So beautiful. Okay, so can I request any other devotee to read the second paragraph?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please.
One cannot enjoy material illusory propensity if he decide to return home, back to Godhead. One who has no information of the transcendental bliss in association of the Lord foolishly decides to enjoy this temporary material happiness. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that if someone sincerely wants to see the Lord and at the same time wants to enjoy this material world, he is considered to be a fool only. One who wants to remain here in the material world for material enjoyment has no business entering into the eternal kingdom of God. The Lord favors such foolish devotee by snatching all that he may possess in the material world. If such a foolish devotee of the Lord tries to recoup his possession, then the merciful Lord again snatches away all that he may have possessed. By such repeated failures in material propensity, he becomes very unpopular with his family members and friends. In the material world, the family members and friends honor persons who have very successful in accumulating wealth by any means. The foolish devotee of the Lord is thus put into forcible penance by the grace of the Lord, and at the end, the devotee becomes perfectly happy, being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, penance in devotional service of the Lord, either by voluntary submission or by being forced by the Lord, is necessary for attaining perfection, and thus such penance is the internal potency of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. It is so beautifully says by Prabhupada here. One cannot enjoy the material illusory property if he decides to return home back to Godhead. So this is also beautifully says, Krishna says the devotional service in the mode of goodness, devotional service in the mode of passion and ignorance. Bhakti yogo bhavido margaihi bhamini bhavyate. So this is also Kapil Bhagavan also says very beautifully this. Subhav guna margena. This is by the bhava. What is the bhava? One who has no information of the transcendent. And here Prabhupada says, in the association with the Lord, foolishly desires to enjoy this temporary material happiness. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, he is considered as a fool who wanted to enjoy this material world, and also at the same time he wanted to see the Lord. He is considered a fool. So it is very beautifully says this is different mode of devotional service in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. This is Swabhav Gunamargena. But the Lord favors such a foolish devotees by snatching all that he may possess in the material world. We could see sometimes many devotees, it is the real experience of it. So finally they understand it is the mercy of the Lord. We also have heard from the senior devotees and exalted devotees and even the acharyas also. We hear even Prabhupada says sometimes, if you wanted to show special mercy, some devotees were asking, if you wanted special mercy, then Lord would take away everything. Do you want special mercy? Then devotees are hesitating. So that is the Prabhupada says, Lord would take everything from me. If you wanted to do any favor to the devotee, most favorable, he would take everything. Then he will be free from all kinds of attachments. But if he is already in the family and following all the rules and regulations of a devotional service, he doesn't have, but everything is there. It is just a kind of arrangement for him to execute his devotional service without any attachments. So for such kind of devotees, they don't have to worry about it. Everything is there, but they know it. They are fully aware of it. So, and further Prabhupada says, such a foolish devotee of the Lord tries to recoup his position, then merciful Lord again snatches away all that he may have possessed. By such repeated failures in the material prosperity, he becomes very unpopular. And then family members, they themselves, they say, okay, let us leave him. And then likewise, that person will be freed without any hard endeavor. So this is the material world. Is if they have got some kind of beauty or of material opulences, then only they will respect. Otherwise, there is no value for any person in this material world. This is a practical experience. If we don't study, no one will respect. If we don't have money, no one will respect. If we don't have any position, no one will respect. These are the material world things. But these are the attachments. If person falls here into this one, he cannot get the Supreme Lord or a devotional service. So here, the foolish devotee of the Lord is thus put into the forcible penance by the grace of the Lord, and at the end, the devotee becomes perfectly happy being engaged in the service of the Lord. So he would realize that one later on. This is Taddagre Vishmiva Parinami Amrutopamam. Initially, it was like a poison, but whenever it is engaging, it is Parinami Amrutopamam. It is like a nectar. So he is happy and being engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, penance in the devotional service of the Lord, either by voluntary submission or being forced by the Lord, is necessary. It is somewhere or other. Yena kena prakarena, Prabhupada says that one. Somewhere or other one has to come to this position. And either by voluntary submission or by being forced by the Lord is necessary for attaining perfection. And the such penance is the internal potency of the Lord. This is also sometimes, it is very difficult to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead due to this Maya. And so one has to meditate on the Lord and engaging in the devotional service without attached to the name, fame, and so many other things. And especially the sense gratification. So this is also when people are attached to any opposite. Sammohanaya rachitam nijamaya yasya bhrumandala muniprute makaradvajasya. As long as body is strong and has got some, if we eat little bit more than what is needed, immediately that one of the senses may be stronger, and then it may need some kind of gratification, and then fall into illusion. So engaging in the penances, mitabhuk munihi, mitamedhyadanam shashvat, vivukta kshema sevanam. Eat me as much as needed, not more or not too less. And then swadhyaya pusharchanam, and at the lonely place he read the scriptures and understand bhaktashuta gruhitaya, as he has heard from the spiritual masters, and he can practice. Then only he will come to that real perfectional stage. So that is very beauty of that purport. Can I request other devotee to read the last paragraph?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, may I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
One cannot, however, be engaged in the penance of devotional service without being completely free from all sins. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, only a person who is completely free from all reactions of sins can engage himself in the worship of the Lord. Brahmaji was sinless, and therefore he faithfully discharged the advice of the Lord, Tapa, Tapa, and the Lord, being satisfied with him, awarded him the desired results. Therefore, only pure love and penance combined can please the Lord, and thus one is able to attain his complete mercy. He directs the sinless, and the sinless devotee attains the highest perfection of life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So this is one cannot, however, be engaged in the penance of the without being completely free from all sins. So here we have got a material body. The soul, it has been entrapped by this mind, intelligence, and ego, and on top of this again material gross elements, subtle body and gross body. And here it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam by Kapila Bhagavan, Yata Ulmukat Vispulingad, Yata Ulmukat Vispulingad. This the five blazing fire, Vispulingad and the sparks. Yata Ulmukat Vispulingad, Dhumadbha api Swasambhavat. And also smoke also comes from the same object. This fire blazing and also sparks and also the smoke. Atha abhimatvena, so it mentions, Kapila Bhagavan mentions abhimatvena. Atha abhitvena, one who understands that this is yata agnihi prutag ulmukat. This fire, everything is comes from the soul itself. Whenever it comes, fire is, the sparks are coming from the fire and the smoke is also coming, but all are coming from the same object. That is also, he says so many other comparisons that we can understand in this world. When the agnihi iva aranihi, to blaze the fire, we use the arani. It is a tool to blaze the fire. All the Brahmanas, they would have this one. It is just a wooden tool. From the wooden tool, they blaze the fire. And if a person is making that fire too strong, even the arani would also burn. And at the end, there is no more wood, no more fire as well. So it is now completely vanished. So here, whenever we perform devotional service, this even it burns the material body and subtle body, and it would attain its real position. Vayugnibhyam yataloham matam chaditi vaimalam. And like it is another comparison. When a gold, it is being burnt very nicely, then it will be completely, all impurities will be removed out. Vayugnibhyam yataloham matam chaditi vaimalam. So likewise, whenever we perform devotional service, it will automatically, everything will be digested. All material body will be gone, subtle body will be gone, and then we attain that swarupena avatistate. Durvibhavyam parabhavya swarupena avatistate. This is also mentioned in the Bhagavatam by Kapila Bhagavan. This is all how execution of the devotional service. This is also Siddho Vipasyati Adjagama Swarupam, and one can see this kind of things. Charamaya Sopyetaya Manuso Nivritya Tasmin Amahimni Avitaha Sukadukka Bhahye Hetuttum Api Asati Kattari Dukkayoryat Swatman Vidatta Upalabdha Paratmakastaha. He attains this kind of position. So this so beautifully mentions the step by steps, what is happening to the body when we are executing devotional service, what is happening to the material body, what is happening to the mind, what is happening to the intelligence, and then ego, how they are being completely, we experience this in day-to-day life. So that way we will be Atmanamatra Purusho Avyavdhanamekam, without any gap. We are one with the Lord. Some impersonalists, they say we are the same, but here the Bhagavatam, it doesn't say that. Bhagavatam always says there is a relationship between the Lord and a living entity. So that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So likewise, the Lord is speaking to Brahma. So pratyadishta maya tatra tvayi karma vimohite tapo me hridayam sakshad atmaham tapaso anagha. So there is no difference between me and this penance. So likewise, Lord is saying to Brahma. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. I shall stop here. Apologies, a few minutes passed. Any questions, dear devotees? Any comments? Or you would like to ask anything else? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. How can one be free from all sinful, as a material body, we can do some kind of killing, ant or whatever, So that is also sin, isn't it?
Yes, Mataji. So that is a very good question. So here, to be free from all the sinful activities, killing other insects, flies, and when we are cleaning, there are so many other germs are also that they may also die. And when we have got some plants, some flies will come there, and then some spiders will come. But here we do not want to kill them, but we can make them shoo away. That may be possible. But the mind is because they're also the children of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But our mode is devotional service. So if my room should be not my room, it is Krishna's room, should be very clean, and then we have to execute devotional service so that no one will be disturbed. That is the mood of it. Then we do not hurt even though unknowingly, if it happens, that is all right, because we are not in the mood to kill any other living entity. This is a devotee only understands whenever whether I need to kill or not. Sometimes such kind of challenges would also come. Some more number of flies would come. Okay, you wanted to be like that, let me try. So likewise, the nature will make arrangement so that it is kind of a test, but it is very difficult sometimes. But the mood is, everyone are children of Krishna. I do not want to kill anyone, but shoo them away as much as possible. But I do not want to. That mood should be there. Mood is very bhavagrahi janardhana. Your mind is very important. So that's why generally who are not engaged in the devotional service, they go to the very lonely place and sit and meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the beauty of the Lord. That way they meditate in a lonely place. Devotees who are in the devotional service, it looks like a material activities, but it is not a material activity. So they do not incur any kind of sinful activities there, because their mood is completely absorbed in the devotional service.
And also, sometimes, it's God said, sometimes He takes forcefully away from us everything. So sometimes people are misery, and then they will not go toward the God. He said, why am happened to me, and then He's just more away. Sometimes it also happen like that.
Yes, Mother, that is kind of a immature decisions without the knowledge, or sometimes whenever they get that knowledge, they would understand it. But because they have not yet got that knowledge, they may put so many questions. Oh, what is happening this to me? Why bad is happening to good people? That is the immature condition. But everything we need to know, everything is running under the Mayadjakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagad Viparivartate. Everything is under my direction. What is the doubt for anything else to ask such kind of why bad is happening to the good person? So it is Prakritehe Gunaihi, what is that? Ahankar Vimudhatma Kattahamiti Manyate. A foolish person thinks that everything I am only doing, I am only experiencing this good and bad. Likewise, he thinks, but he doesn't understand that the nature is working on him.
Thank you. Just nice. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dhanyavad. Main thing is Brahma did his penance. It is also Prabhupada mentioned here about in the Bhagavad Gita. It is clearly mentioned. Jesham ta antagata papam jananam punna karmanam te dandamaha nirmakta bhajante mam diriravrata. That means, so why we are not doing austerity? Why we cannot do tapasya? Because of due to our sinful, our mind or our attention for sinful things. So that is why if it is not clean up, so it is two way. Either it can be clean up with holy name or to do service of Krishna, or if it is clean up, then we can do that. Both are the conditional. If it is, because it's coming, austerity is non-different from Lord. So that is why who is sinless, he can do, or who is still the sinful, he has to do that to make it sinless. So that is why we have to do some devotional service. And without devotional service, without clean mind, without clean mentality, they cannot do such kind of penance. So that is why is many lifetime we have lot of sinful sin, we accumulation of lot of sin. So that is why when someone is doing some austerity, we can realize he has some sukriti. That is without some special mercy from Lord, people cannot do penance or tapasya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, one has to chant and perform. Some people do that one, pranayama hi dahe doshan dharana visha kilvishan. So pranayama, using pranayama, one will be free from all the dahe doshan, all the sinful activities. Dharana visha kilvishan, and also controlling the mind, the sinful activities will be further be stopped. Pranayama hi dahe doshan dharana visha kilvishan. So beautifully says, and then further Kapil Bhagavan says that dhyanena anishwaran gunan, through the dhyana, and then this one can transcend these three material modes of nature. So these are how one can take. This is pranasya sodayen margam porakumbhakarechakaihi pratyaharena samsarghan. One can transcend this pratyaharena samsarghan. This is pranayasa sodayen margam porakumbhakarechakaihi pratikulena va nityam. This is yatastiram achanchalam. He can steady himself by the this porakumbhakarechakaihi, that is the Ashtanga Yoga. That is one say, it says that is to purify a sage, a muni's mind who is completely wanted to devote himself to the Lord. Here for us in the material world, we have to keep chanting, and without it is avyavadhanami, completely all the time surrendering to the. We sleep only to get the energy so that it will be engaged in the next day in the devotional service. And in the daytime, we are always engaging in the devotional service. For livelihood, we have to work in that way. And again, we need to do devotional service, either chanting and following this regulative principle, somewhere or other engaged. That is the way. We sleep for to do devotional service, and then to do a devotional service, we have to work. That is the only thing, connecting everything to Krishna. Keeping that one will be free from any kind of sinful activities. The subtle body also will be completely digested. So much of things to these comparisons have been given. It is vast. That's why sitting and reading Swadhyaya Purushachanam, when we read the scriptures, sitting at one place, you would see the entire world. Whatever you are experiencing, you are correlating it. This is Antaha Purusharupena Kalarupena Yo Bahihi Samanveti Satwanam Bhagavan Atma Maya. So, and you would correlate everything. Internally, Lord is there. Outside, time factor is there. That by the activities, and when you are studying all the scriptures, sitting at one place, you see this entire cosmic manifestation, like Brahma, like Arjuna, and we read the scriptures by hearing from the bona fide source. That way, one can completely situate above all this, free from all kinds of sins. So, Prabhuji, I'm sorry, apologies, I keep speaking. Any other questions, dear devotees? Any comments? So if there are no further questions or no comments, we shall conclude and continue with further japa. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Stay very
Hare
much.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. How do we, sorry, can I just ask one question? Sorry, I said it just now, but how do we measure our devotional service? Because some days it's good, some days it's feel we have so many work commitments. How do we actually measure?
So measure, first of all, did I wake up early morning as per usual time? That is the first thing. And then I take my bath, and then I completed all my ablutions, came to the temple room, and then sitting in front of the deity, and then performing my prayers, and then doing this Tulasi Parikrama, and then now sitting to do chanting. Is it going on correctly as per the plan? So that means, yes, the first tick mark is done. So the day is started auspiciously. And by the end of the day, whether I have completed 16 rounds, all 16 rounds very perfectly without any disturbances, then it is perfect. And also engage it as much possible as either book distribution or speaking on katha or hearing katha or preparing prasadam, like that. Did I do it? Then you get, yes, today it is 100% pass. I have qualified. And if I didn't do chanting out of 16 rounds, only few rounds only with concentration I did, and remaining few rounds I haven't shown that much content. That means maybe 80%, 90%, likewise I would have achieved. So that would give the satisfaction. It is the self-explanatory in the heart, that goes within the heart. Did I do it or not? That is the measurement. So whenever we eat food, only the tummy only knows. But if it touches the tongue may eat as much as it wants, but tummy says enough, don't eat it. One can feel that one. So that is whenever we do chanting, and also the devotional service, what is the quality of my chanting, what is the attention of I am giving to hear Krishna Katha, that would give the indication to the heart. One can feel it. That is the measurement. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. So we shall continue with the japa. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Krishna consciousness everyone. Jai Shri